beats are the purest. Prove it.
Between the Purple Apes and the Foxians, something like that. But it is the Fox team, Fyxestroll team. And I'll be Booney here. I'm going to play my cast. Join me. It's going to be Neptune. First time on our cast together. Neptune, I think we have a pretty good game ahead of us as well. Both these teams taking pretty good wins in their week one matches. So see if they continue the streak.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how they do. I think I've heard that Tommy won't be here for the match. Hopefully he'll come back later, but who knows? Man, I'm excited. Our Chambeltier cast here. A little rough because you're both casting and prodding, but I'm excited to work along with you.
Yeah, it looks like both teams are as well, so we'll be heading on into the game any moment now once I actually get back into Overwatch. I'm sadly also hosting the lobby, so I'm wearing a lot of hats right now, so you have to bear with me, gentlemen. Here we go. We are going in. Yippee.
That means we're even better because you're doing 2 roles at once, you know?
More like 3 rolls at this point, but we'll get over that. Going into our first map here, it is going to be Nepal. Now, Nepal, always a pretty interesting map because if you can play a lot of different looks, a lot of different styles on this map through all 3 points. So it's kind of an interesting look into Koth, especially which team has more round, comp knowledge, comp work on, or potentially there's a specialization. So what do you think we're going to see here coming on onto Nepal. We're going to be starting off on Shrine.
I'm expecting both these teams to go like these type of broad comps. Yep. Doesn't surprise me at all seeing this from both teams, especially when we have Caprian, as well as Firecarter going out to that DPS lineup, and then Dire just looked amazing on that main tank, especially the Queen in their first games match.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken in my history here, Dire came in the year before you and won Rookie of the Year, taking his team all the way to the grand finals, playing mostly Reese, playing that Junker Queen. So a very stout tank player, took a season off, now back here, looking to find more success. And now going in, it's going to be the Ram versus the Queen. Any advantage of the comps here? Big initial poke or anything like that?
Yeah, for sure. Coming from like the Apes, there's gonna be a lot of these like pokey kind of thing, but it's kind of weird to say. It's just, yeah.
I mean, with that first pick over to
sure
enemy, there's just not a lot of damage to come on down. No more dynamites, no real long-range control. It means a cool thing to go deep in your backline. Look at your supports. Is forced out to go get that mega, but looks at Port's point cap. We'll go over to Foxians here, as I got the first pick early with HV Sec.
Yeah, like we talked about at the beginning, the Apes really want to play really pokey, and as we're gonna see eventually, these picks from HV are just massive.
I mean, you say pick, just the same one over again. Gets enemy, sends him right back. And now we have a pincer maneuver coming here for Cool, coming in from main, coming in from the coast. Here comes Dire with a big axe. They're to face out to Brawl. But coming on top of me, Foxes again. The Apes really seeing no signs of life so far in the early 20%.
Yeah, HV just keeps shutting down any hopes of the Apes getting a team fight in. You know, Soname ends up going to the Tracer, and hopefully that will prevent him getting picked first.
They do take down that turret for the movement on in here for the ultimates. Really, Firecar's one of the closest here, going for it. Trying to put damage here over on the elephant side. Gets a big sticky on a Dire. Dire falls a little hesitant to shout to stay alive, but retreats here back to their spawn area. HV on the corner, poking some damage with the turret. Trying to get something done here. Had to use an overload. The TP from Marth comes in, had to use Suzu. But the point does flip, and the duplicate comes over on the Queen. Firecar finds one, and the ult builds up here very fast, 70%. Towards that Rampage, who decide to use it. Doesn't look like it now. There's something back to spawn. The Rampage comes in, finds 3. The Molten Core from HV Sec, that has to be a switch here, don't you think?
I would say so, but I think HV is probably going to stick to Torben. Just thought it was winnable, but if you're the Apes, that's just amazing getting out that Torb ultimate for this fight. Now we have double support ults going into this fight, and we can just use them both at our own leisure, right? Capri's closing this ult, that's really important to really be watching for this fight.
Early container rushes are exchanged by Mardox finds Sonic Run. I can't use that beat in this fight. A very essential ultimate they have for the game plan probably, and now War flying low as well. It has to use the Suzu, it has to try to get alive. Dire boot back on in. And now the casualties coming as Firecarter whips down that Focusing Beam and finds 2. Capri wolfing the opposite number, the knife in the neck of the other Queen there. And again, just a very solid fight coming out from the Purple Apes.
Yeah, it shows you what just kind of switching your comp and really getting the ball rolling, right? Soname was getting picked off at the beginning of the fights, never really got to that poking phase at all, right? But the Apes are really solidified and have a lot of ultimates for this fight, like the Pulse, like the Queen Ult, and the Beat.
And Firecarter already 7% toward those duplicate could get the mid fight as well. Basically 5-pack ready to open for the Purple Apes. Dire though does have the advantage here with the knife landing into Dire. The Pulse Bomb is gonna find anything. It's a 3-man Rampage, but the response is a 5-man. Very nice place from both the Junker Queens, but the beat comes out from both these squads basically the same exact time. Firecarter in the backline, close taking out. Warper Cool finds the first pick on Danny Vito. We lose out on that Lucia, lose out on the speed, but the kick comes on in here on the Junker Queen. 2 Queens going at Molten Core over on the point, but gets taken down. Mardox finds that kill. They're gonna shot these ultimates here pretty enough quickly, and it looks like despite the chaos, despite the early picks, the Purple Apes are gonna take this one. Another Rampage almost built up there. Firecarter, HV Sec with a turret kill from the grave. We'll find one, but Danny Vito returns it with a huge boot kill on the Dire, losing out on that Queen. Mardox bleeds it up yet again with the Kunai to the eyes. And first point goes over to the Purple Apes, and despite the early strugglers, make a huge turnaround there.
Yeah, just as you mentioned, that Firecar ult coming up mid-fight was just massive for the Apes.
And now, what do you want to see kind of swapped here from the side of the Foxians? You know, we saw the early advantage comes in, but one swap kind of just threw that off. Do we stick to Torbjorn? Do we send the 8% to his more primary role, which is hit scan? Or, I mean, they're showing it right now. Is this just the game plan so far? But the Echo kind of shut that down.
I would love to see like especially if HV is comfortable on that hit scan. I would rather just keep Akua on that tracer and just go like a cast look or something like that, just to like really deny this flyer value from Firecarter.
And yeah, the West Coast bug is hitting us all right now. The other games also being played on West Coast. I think Central Server has just died for all eternity. F's in the chat. Going on here, Dyer switch over on to the Wrecking Ball here. Gets an early slam on the Capri Wolverine. Capri Wolverine has a cooldowns. And the boot from Danny DeVito stops that ball from escaping. But Danny might pay for his life. Losing on the Lucio. No real disengage anymore for the Purple Apes. This guy will go right on in here to try to put damage done. They almost get Sonic Rock high in the sky, trying to survive. Not going to fall. Losing on that Lucio's on both these sides, and now it's just an even fight 4-on-4 as high ground control goes Purple Apes early right now.
Yeah, this backline is seeing hard stuff, but Apes are just keep absorbing dive after dive and are able to push out on this high ground and just clean up HV. This is scary. Dyer is coming in through another roll through and trying to PD anyone they can get, but it seems like the Apes are going to be able to stabilize here and get these follow-up kills too.
Yeah, just the nice slow play there. Not really going in the rotation line. Dyer again from behind you. Get that early pick on the HV sec. Good shutdown. Does swap over on the Cassie now. But again, you get that early control, and now a lot easier for this comp to just hold its high ground and brawl on point. A lot more difficult for Dyer to get in now and really get as much value potentially in defense. But very slow play right now. Cool setting up in the kitchen area. Slow just get thrown on in. Dyer's behind him, but can't quite get the rollout. He does get the slam. But Capri Wolverine is going to fall low in the front lines as the team turns for the Wrecking Ball. AP does roll into the slow, might get punched for that. Untimely Susie from War. Just not enough to save the Cowboy at the end of the day. And early picks come in for Purple Apes. The point does flip in the chaos. A free 5% game for Cool and friends, but that's going to flip right on back.
I don't love a lot about that fight. I don't love how the Fox didn't like force point as a team, like with Dyer and Akua. And I also don't like how the Apes just let it go freely, right? And now we're seeing like a very, like, this is what I wanted last fight. This both players touching this point. And now, again, it's Apes not contesting this underground, which I really don't like.
Losing on the Lucio as well very early, not a good sign, as well as Capri Wolverine gets punished. Doesn't quite have that block, but now looking at it's a very even fight with Firecar swapping over on the duplicate here onto the Wrecking Ball, trying to get an early minefield here. Does find Sonic Rock low in the back line, but the mines from Dyer will stuff this ball into the corner, stuff into a locker, and take his lunch money here. The point doesn't flip just yet. It looks like it finally will at around 70%, but it was a pretty costly fight there for both squads. You'll take that if you're Purple Apes.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Even though the ultimates didn't really work out for the Apes, just being able to stall that point to 70% is just massive for their comp.
Now coming in here, Senemies trying to scoop up, trying to get some done, but an early slam in from Dyer. Force them back, forces out a bit of a chilly play here, but actually they're going to go right back in here for another slam from Dyer. Actually, he might get punished here. Dyer doesn't get hacked on his initial slam. The rush as well from War on the high ground gets instantly boot drawn back by Capri Wolverine. It's a very even fight right now, and Danny DeVito down as well. Sonic finds two, the Evil Frog. The Sage X onto the slow orb from Sonic. That could spell disaster as Centipede pops over onto that overclock. He gets something done. War one. Pete doesn't get taken out, so now War is Dyer on the point against Capri Wolverine. Tank on tank action, but here comes the Cool as well from the back. Devious backshots being delivered by this Tracer.
If I'm Cappy, I invest this ultimate here.
Yeah, looking at the beat bitch. Oh, but Firecard doesn't quite get the beat in time. Fall HP Sec just throw out that high noon as well. The pulse one is gonna land over onto Capri Wolverine. Uses out onto that annihilation on the point. Putting in some work right now. Both Danny DeVito and HP Sec trade hits can for projectile. You love to see those interactions, but Capri Wolverine half on point. Annihilation expires. Dyer does have his minefield getting pushed on back towards his mini room on the coastline. Sending me hunting down this hamster, but might not be enough. The Lions do get on point, but Capri Wolverine finds the kill. And now looking at Cool trying to touch her with these minefields. Danny DeVito blind very low, goes into the mines. They lose the frog, and now Capri Wolverine is alone on point. No help, no friends, and no hope. Mordox has returned to the battle, and we'll find one of Sonic Frog taking down that Lucio. Very even fight, very scrappy, and almost a C9. Akua forced to recall over onto point. Capri Wolverine flying very low. Dyer from the back, the Immortality kill with in time to save Mardox. A very just scrappy brawl right now. Nothing is dying. Capri Wolverine might change that though. Goes on down Apes with the rockets from the soldier. Again, the exchange from Mardox finds multiple kills here. Supportal combat engaged on the back as both the Foxes collapse onto Mardox and take them down. The point did flip in the chaos. And now we're looking at last fight territory.
That fight, all they needed to do after the Fox's resources came back I just wish they stabilized. If they stabilize and just let point flip naturally, that fire car ult comes online, they can stabilize and they can just turn the fight that way.
Now you look at EMP versus Sonic Rock, potential beat here mid-fight. We'll see which ultimate can do more about. That will probably defy this point, but never mind, as Akua with opening pick on his enemy takes a soldier out of the fight. No mid-fight overclock here. David falling low as well. Trying to take down Akua, does get the roll wider way for just a couple seconds here, but Capri Wolverine finds the kill with the kunai. With the kunai assist there. Sonic Rock falls low, Sonic Rock has the beat, cannot fall, Sonic Rock is gonna jump down! That could spell disaster, despite the Foxians having a miracle run there at the end. They might have done themselves in. Capri Wolverine goes in and finds Ward. That's both supports gone right now. It's just Dyer trying to survive on this point as possibly can. Hack ready to go from Fire Carter. Dyer cannot land on the point for a millisecond longer. And now it's just a DPS here. Sonic Rock back with the beat. It is going to land on a 3. The high noon, or the overclock from Senemi is here. And Ray putting out that damage. Still very even though, but the visor comes on up. But the DM from Capri Wolverine is perfectly placed. Team Team Alive, Danny Vito, 3-man beat in response, and it looks Purple Apes will take that point and take this map in a 2-0 fashion, but anything but a dominant win.
I can't believe you are keeping up with this. It's just insane fights after insane fight, and just so chaotic too, especially going into this diva and ball compositions.
And now, of course, everything opens on up for the side of the Foxians, but before that happens, we're going to stay over to a quick map break. Do not go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Aurora Overwatch Clash continues after this short break.
These beats are the purest. These beats are the purest.
And welcome on back, everybody, to the Aurora Overwatch Clash week. Is this week 2 or is this week 3? I'm confused because we have so many games going back and forth. I think this is week 2.
Yeah, week 2.
Okay, it's week 2 of our Overwatch Clash Season 6, and we had the Purple Apes taking our first map of Nepal in a very quote-unquote dominant fashion, 2-0, but it's very close in all those points, and now we'll go with the Foxians selection, which is going to be Blizzard World. So, do you expect to see anything different in terms of compositions, or do you think these teams stick to what they were good at on the last map and potentially try to make that little extra push if you're the Foxians?
I'm really expecting the Fox to probably run on some sort of dive composition at the very least. Whether it be on a brig backline, I don't think so. But maybe more of a Lucio Kiri type brawl or dive might be coming out.
All right, both the teams find good ones that are. And the interesting thing about this series is we have, basically just 5 players a team, and all of them are kind of locked to their roles. So we're basically not going to see any differences in the actual comps themselves, just depending on the hero selection. So it will basically just be a battle of the death of your quote-unquote best comp you have that day. Can't blame the mandatory playtime this time, chat, but going on in here to Blizzard World. And we have the Purple Apes going to be on the attack first, or on the defense first, apologies. But they're getting ready to get started here and see what they're going to roll out on. It looks like it's going to be potentially a single look on the attack, but the defense...
And Juno is not enabled, so we need to enable that really quickly for the teams.
We will go ahead and do that then. Well, I guess we know that one team's going to play Juno, so...
And that's most likely Fox. I am pretty sure last week, during the Foxes game, we were actually seeing Jack on that Juno.
Yes, we were, but Jack's the one being rung for by Sonic. So Sonic without the Juno, I mean, no diss to Sonic, but... Jack's Juno's kind of just different. In Pugs, that one time I played him, was an absolute menace on the character. And a little bit of buff, a little bit of nerf, a little bit of net changes whatsoever. But would have been interesting to see Basara be picking that up. Or maybe maybe we're dissing out on our boy, or dissing out on our fellow caster, potentially. Whooping out the old astronaut there. But looking at both teams here, going to run on. We did see initially a diva look on the defense. Looks like we're going to stick with that there. And they are going to throw Juno on back to both these teams here, actually. So I guess both teams have the strategy of running the Juno.
Marduk's just baiting us.
All right, that's unfortunate. But still going to see Juno for Sonic, so different look.
And I'm interested in seeing how they're going to be able to take how it would be with Juno and Lucio healing.
Hello there. Hello.
Yeah, I mean, do we see a bit of an advantage here coming up from Akua potentially getting an early damage in, then Dire falls up to the spam, HP second in the sky, or is it going to be that more brawly look with the Diva, with the Venture from Senemi? We'll see which one decides to come out on top here. Looking for an early shot from Akua, probably just switch over to that Tracer. Looking for a bit of a grapple shot, can't quite land the grapple, so now goes Stein here for the shot to land. Will land it actually, but goes back to spawn, is going to switch over to that Ashe. A little more damage potential over time, but Capri Wolverine looking to eat those dynamites up here with that defense matrix. And both teams playing very still, but high ground given early here by the Foxians, or by the Purple Apes.
Yeah, they're just really baiting the kill box to around probably to a point even. They're just kind of letting them take the space, and now they're looking to try to activate, but too late for Panini to get picked on here.
Yeah, with Panini going down, it's kind of rough here, but they're playing pretty split right now. Senemi does dig on in, but get called out here by HP Second Capri Wolverine. We'll find Wars as 1 point exchange. Mercenary there, though, for the res. Marduk's maybe going to punish that one up, but still a pretty good fight so far for the defense coming back, despite losing their early picks there. Dire falls to 1 HP, actually make that 0 over in the boathouse, and now we still have a defense going here. Capri Wolverine doesn't have mech, though, potentially a window open just up.
Yeah, Capri Wolverine went crazy in that Snacks, and that's kind of what I expected in the fight to be. Just kind of establish a kill box in either Snacks / the mines, but it seemed like the side of the Apes were uncoordinated a bit, but were still able to manage to pull it out.
Bit of a DPS battle here in the right room here over on Coaster, but Akua looks to be winning that one, forcing out some cooldowns, takes that Mega as well. They might punish the enemy there. Suddenly caught over on that flank. Akua sniffing that one on out, and Capri Wolverine still has no mech, 3% away. does finally get that online. Dire falling to half HP as well, so kind of an even fight despite losing the early selection. But now Capri Wolverine back in the back line, trying to put some damage over on the Ironic, but does get out, it looks like. Apes like yet again fights the Vito early. This Lucio cannot fall this early every fight. If they want a chance of winning here, HP Sec will be picking over on the Kiriko, but Dire follows up with those Gravitic Spears. And that's probably going to be point A going over the side of the Foxians. Took a bit of poking and prying, but Purple Apes are finally dismantled from their position.
Yeah, it's just so hard to be able to do any sort of defense, but it looks like the Apes are coming back for a recontest here with the Kiriko rush coming onto the point.
Yeah, looks what's going to happen there. The Flux is going to land on multiple members. Akua opening pick again on DeVito. Cannot build this beat in time. Akua finds 2. And it looks like the MVP from a couple seasons ago looks to be unlocked. And finally trying to take a point here for the Foxians. Looks like they'll do just that.
Yeah, the Apes like really just struggled through that entire time because just not having that diva at all and just having to give up the entire space, but they really try to control lanes a little bit too hard without asking for resources from their teammates.
Yeah, trying to play a bit of a poke and prod, but not really going well when Kuich finds everything out in your backline. Firecarter has a duplicate here. You look for it. Again, both Winstons being immersed here on the Blizzard World on the B. Very good point here for this high ground for him to drop on in on the cart. Danny Vito, again, does get kind of caught out here by a cool fortune treat. Early Casino Rush out from War as well. Up on the high ground, will claim some space here. Dire does jump on in, though, falls very low and gets punished for that. The duplicate from Firecarter over on the Winston. Will poke and prod over on War, but War gets a couple more meters here on the cart, and Sonic Ronic pops those wings and rips res, and somehow Kua turns around with a pulse bomb again on Danny Vito. Cannot use this beat. And now it looks like somehow they're going to win this fight. Mardox might get staggered here as well. Had the Suzu to himself, but will get one kill. And Sonic doesn't have a res just yet, so bit of a window for a response as Sonic falls low. This is just so scrappy. We're playing free-for-all deathmatch right now, Neptune?
Yeah, it's actually, we're loading into custom game, playing comp, and, you know, here's the custom game for the Triad FFA. And if you're the Apes, like, you're taking these scrappy fights. They're not getting that much payload progress, and you're able to still have some of your ults like that beat.
Yeah, now Sonic can swap over here onto the Juno. A little more damage potentially come out, a little more focused healing for the dives coming in rather than Lucid, but Danavia now has the beat advantage ready to go. Has a lot of ults here ready to pop for the Purple Apes. The jump on in from both Winstons. The excavation is used by Senemi and will get one. The beat's a little too late there from Panini. But it does kind of stabilize him in this fight as they got the opening picks. Akua does find Mardox, so bit of an exchange here. The Juno is just breaking ankles over here on the pillar.
Yeah, the Juno movement
they cannot land.
That fight.
Dire does pop that Primal Rage though to seal this fight. It looks like trying to punch it on back. It's still, again, just very scrappy. One death for another. Bubble comes on up. It's going to be nearly enough. Dire has to retreat here as there's just too much pressure right now.
Yeah. I love the retreat from the Purple Apes and just baiting out these ultimates.
They're
and
still
just eventually
going.
coming back in. Yeah, with it just feels like one long fight has just been occurring this entire game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even want to call any deaths or anything because the fight's not nearly over. As Firecarter gets the opening pick, it's going to be 2 right now from Firecarter. Potentially a fight 1. Who knows? We might be lucky. But the bubble comes on it. We'll get Dire out to spawn. Akua back in. And it looks like finally the Foxians will yield for just a couple of seconds.
I think Akua's just really staggering bad here. Even if he does manage to stay alive, I don't see the value of him being in this backline.
And still there, got the health pack, got the recall as well. Senemi does know where the Tracer is, so the team engages now. Does 1-on-1 in the back for the 4-on-4 engages out front. The duplicate comes on Firecarter over onto that Winston. Double monkeys as Capri Wolverine pops out Primal. And there's going to be 2 quick kills found for the Purple Apes as Danny Vito going deeper and deeper into spawn. Like I said, back to his own, which he does. Might be a bit of an overextension as Dire close to this Primal. Akua does find Senemi, wins out that backline battle, it appears. And somehow, again, the Foxians have clutched this out with just a bit of overaggression from Danny DeVito.
And this is going to be a really important fight to possibly build this beat and hold them on second here. And they are be able to go for this recontest, but this Juno ult and the double sport ults and the Primal are just going to be really important, and they're just going to win out probably this fight.
It's going to be a 1-for-1 exchange here. Dire returns on back. 3 quick kills out for the Foxians. That will be point B captured here as Senemi will have to emerge eventually. And HP Sec ready to pump up on the lead. But War is the one to deal the final blow And a minute 30 going here into point C. No guarantees of completion, but you got at least through that deadly point B at Blizzard World.
Yeah, I'm not sure what like Saname is really like. I feel like the Purple Apes aren't going as fast as they should be with this venture. They should be really playing a little bit more aggressive and looking to kind of go and force Suzu and kill that backline.
We are ready here. For the excavation comes on in, lays down, but is bowled off quickly by Dire. Might get killed here, but Mars comes in with a TP with a Suzu, but that's two big support cooldowns wasted now. As the team has to play back a little bit here. Danny Vito on cart, can't get called out here. We'll get back in the mirror in time, but it's still a very aggressive push from Dire. Has that power range, has the opportunity to do so. HP Sec gets punished there with the aggression there on the Cassidy. With the hide, not can find anything there. Marduk's 1 HP, has a Suzu in time, as worse Pearl and TP as well. However, Danny Vito backs into the Winston's fists. And Dire has found his target yet again. No TP, no Suzu this time for the small room. Sadly, Kiriko sent back to spawn, but Firecard comes back to retreat with the return answer. Akua continues to push his cart forward, and it appears the Purple Apes are going to give some ground and recover for last fight.
Yeah, even though we are finding picks with these ultimates, I'm not a fan of a lot of these when like this Primal, it's going to net some kills, but it won't help you overall. And you would rather love the High Noon and like Primal here.
Oh, Dire jumps on in onto a Kiriko inside a Casino Rush. Not too much the Winston could do there with this double Suzu coming on in through that fight, and now a quick reset for the Foxians. They're sent back to spawn. It's going to be a point C hold from the Purple Apes, but again, with how rough it was looking there on point A and point B especially, you're happy to get 2.5 points if you're the Foxians.
Switching sides.
Yeah, something's got to change. I mean, I feel like the defense from the Foxes in their first match was incredible. So if they go back to that kind of lineup that they were doing with the characters, I know it was like Juno, I want to say Brig was in there too, but they could be a lot more kind of like a dive look with the Juno like they did the week before, and probably do well against the Apes comp.
I mean, we saw the Juno's actually doing pretty well. The Order Ray came in clutch there to capture point B, and just the amount of damage and healing that she can put out right now at her current state, you definitely like the advantage there. But going back to this Lucio, it appears for Sonic Ronic, no more Juno shenanigans on the defense. And I mean, we saw the moves, we saw the Michael Jackson moonwalk there from Sonic Ronic on that pillar to avoid that dive. So potentially something they can pull out later here if they decide to. But right now we have a bit of a swap here from Senmi goes over on the Ash off the Venture here. A little more for the spam with Firecard and the Echo.
Yeah, I'm loving that. All we gotta see is, please don't get picked for Saname.
It's gonna be. I mean, it's a tough answer on the Venture, especially when your job is to be was looking for the Tracer. Instead of sending me on flanks, looking for a Tracer and a Akua just there, like, oh, you want to do this duel? Okay, I'll take you on, and then just send me back to spawn.
Yeah.
But with the swap over on the Ash, a lot slower gameplay right now for the Purple Apes. Might slow down Akua a little bit as well. Can't go too as aggressive.
Yeah. You gotta be really playing like really slow for the Apes, just trying to play for Firecard and these dinos, and then eventually looking for these dives. And I'm just hoping that the side of the Foxes will be trying to coordinate their dives with the dynamites from HV.
Both ones exchanging bit of punches there up on the high ground. Will once again claim this for the Purple Apes is going to be Capri Wolverine. Now goes in with the bubble over on the backline. DeVito trying to put some work in, trying to get a boot potential in the high ground, but send me there. Finds that revenge, finds the opening kill over onto Akua, says, how do you like them apples for once? And now the boot from DeVito on a Sonic Ronic, the Lucio diff established. And HV Sec will find one for his troubles, but that's going to be a point A captured for the Purple Apes, and really no sweat off their brow for that one.
Yeah, exactly like we talked about, just kind of playing really slow. The Foxes don't seem to be really coordinating like dives in their Ash LS at all, so it's kind of no wonder why the Apes were able to have such a successful attack there.
Now both Vikings fighting over this turret control up here on the high ground, but Mardox is the only one open here on the battlefield. It's a really good one. Is that Casino Rush ready to go right down Main Street? Should the fight break out here, but Firecard trying to pelt them back with those sticky mines, not quite getting that right now. Akua putting in some work in the back line, but Mike can punish. Never mind, finds opening kill. Taking that Echo out of the fight's a very good start here for the Foxians. But is exchange out for the Winston, and now down a tank. The DPS had to play a bit slower here, but Fyxestroll responds with a kill back over to Mardox, takes that Casino Rush out of the fight, and still just very scrappy. Akua might get punished here, though. Senmi does spot out that Tracer over on the coastline and see which one wins that one. The stick from the grave, but again, just so scrappy. Neptune 1 for 1 every single time.
Yeah, and as we've seen, it is just a very scrappy game, and at least the Purple Apes are just able to get this card progress here going, but HB is just clicking heads on this high ground, just playing Kovacs.
Yeah, just deciding finally we're gonna win a fight, guys. HB decided we are gonna give the casters a bit of a break for this one. Finds 2 nice headshot kills, and now quick reset by the high ground again. Now it's fully controlled by the Foxians, and now with Sunrise set up over on this turret close to a beat, all that ult advantage they had with the early point and capture melting away quickly.
And yeah, I love going up this high ground, yep, Mardox needs to open with his ultimate, but I'd rather beat rush high ground instead, because as you're seeing now, it's just really hard to stabilize going through these chokes against dinos and all sorts of stuff. And if not, you need Capri Wolven to jump and TP to that Winston and Kiriko rush for that play to work.
Yeah, I mean, you only got the primal, you only got the Casino Rush up for 2 of your ults as well, and if you're on the attack, that's really not what you want. If you're going to invest that heavily, you at least want to get a big exchange. Dire jumps on and does not have primal, so has to get out here alive, but might get punished. Does get out there with about half HP. The follow-up is there from Akua, but the beat from Panini brings this fight pretty even. Fyxestroll forced the coach gun away here as Capri Wolverine has made his way over on the high ground. Has this primal rage. Should Fyxestroll get a little too crazy? Bob is in the backline for both these squads. Fyxestroll 1 HP, finally taken on down, but Akua finds the stick over onto the Individuo, and Akua trying to do something here on the point, but the numbers are heavily in favor. Never mind, there's a one-man army here. It doesn't matter what teammates he has. Goes to get that mini, find 2 kills. Gonna make that recontest a lot easier here.
Just kind of looking at the ult economy, just having this Primo and Mardox ult coming online here soon is going to be really important for the end of this third. No one needs to fold, and as we're seeing, a dive comes on high ground, and Panini is going to get caught out.
So again, losing out on that Lucio early there. The Garmo Rage will find 1 from Fyxestroll. The Suzu was not enough there from Mardox, or from War. Sadly, now War might get punished in the backline. TP, though, will get out their lives, and Dire finding the Cassie in the meantime. This is still just a very scrappy fight here. The Casino Rush as well from Mardox, trying to push them forward. Trying to get to this point B capture. Again, like I said, not even need a full hold, so any capture progress any time might just be the map victory. But now, very even back and forth with Dire going down. Might finally go the way of Purple Apes. And with 2 downs, I'm inclined to say that's probably going to be it there. We'll finally go over the finish line, but it took everything they had, and they still got about halfway to go here.
Yeah. I mean, if there's one word to describe this series, it is scrappy. And a lot of these players are even investing ultimates, and at least I love seeing them use these ultimates to turn these fights, without a doubt. And as we're seeing, War and Sonic's ult are coming online, so they do have the advantage going into this fight. And Firecard looks and gets the pulse under War, just opening this map for them.
Yeah, losing out on that. Oh my, and Semi just around the corner as well. With that Peacemaker, finds the Hinder Grenade and the headshot. And quick victory there for the Purple Apes, finding War, taking that out of the way, and all for 1 Pulse Bomb. A great exchange, especially now 2.5 minutes ready to go. You're basically at the checkpoint. One fight goes your way. You got this map.
Yeah, the Apes just gotta live this fight and just play for a Panini ult. They're gonna go first with like this primal, and all they need to do is live and just wait for a Panini ult to come online.
Pulse doesn't land, but Senmi, though, is caught out there in the side. The beat comes on in from Dane DeVito. It's a 4-on-4 beat exchange to primal the advantage for Dire. Capri Wolverine just barely off that right now, but the Foxes looking at taking the advantage here. As the primal goes crazy, sends him right on back, and the Junkrat swap from Akua for our last 2 minutes here, looking for a miracle tire.
If they get silly, we get sillier. That's the motto, right? I mean, there's not much for the Foxes to work with. It's just HV ult, and as you're seeing, we're just going to see Mardox ult probably come online here soon on point, and this should be all she wrote. And
they just don't touch. So Akua getting actually way too silly, just C9s himself with the conch mines over the cart. So, and again, that's going to be Purple Apes taking that map to a 2-0 scoreline right now, and really not too much hope coming out for the poor little Foxians out there.
Yeah. The first map was really close, so if you're the Foxes, you're just kind of really thinking about, can we try to find a map to brawl on? Because that was like the closest look. I mean, I wouldn't say non-closest. Like this map was pretty close, or at least it felt that way because of how scrappy each fight was throughout the entire map. But the map numbers don't really show that.
With that being
For
said,
the
do we
time being.
have a reverse sweep up our sleeves, or will this be a quick little 3-0 for the Apes, send us on our way and tell Power Rankings team to eat and kick rocks? We'll have to see. Don't go anywhere. Overwatch Clash continues after this short break. And welcome on back, everybody, to the Overwatch Clash Season 6 Week 2 matchup between the Foxians and the Purple Apes. Going into our third and potentially final map here, of Shimbali Monastery, selected by the Foxians again. What do you want to see here? Again, like I said, after map 1, we got no other players to sub on in, sub on out. No one to switch roles. It's just the same thing over and over again. As we've seen, this look for Purple Apes a lot stronger so far in the series.
Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting the Foxes to come out on a more like spam / brawly type of comp that we saw in the beginning maps, right?
I mean, like with Akua here, does he go over to an Ashe? Does he go more to the Tracer? I mean, it's, the Jay Silly, he must have saw our week 1 match and thought, wow, if this guy can do it, I can do it too. But okay, go towards Hanzo. I like that look a little more of the J Sill, but it is still fun shenanigans.
Even then, I wasn't doing it on the J Silly. Yeah, so we're really seeing this more like spam look, like I just kind of mentioned, either spam or brawl, and I really like the comp of the Purple Apes here. It just feels like they really understand what they want to play to, and they're just really sticking to it, and they're just really leaving it up to the Foxes to adapt.
Let's see, someone stuck up over in the ceiling over there. I think it was Sonironic, unfortunately. I didn't get there in time. That was my spot. That was my Skyhorse spot. Going on in here too, Shimbali, like we said, it's going to be that more spam versus that more spam brawl combo. Suicide takes this one out here. Sonironic poking on through with that sonar rifle, but nothing too coming out of it right yet. Sonironic in fact is going to fall pretty low. Will force to retreat. Dire coming over on. Just pushes Card along here. Has the shield ready to block off these sticky grenades out from Fire Carter. And once again, just this tank-on-tank battle here in the front line. Going to Capri Wolverine, forces Dire back. But this is a high ground rotation here, actually. They might catch out Senemi on the high ground by themselves. And looks like they will do just that. Apes slides on in with the help of Akua, takes that first blow over on the Ashe. The Dynamite, though, is going to come in just in time for one more shot. Sonironic losing over on that pylon. Very scrappy once again here. But slow little back and forth from the Foxes and Purple Apes. Apes can't do anything with this charge. Akua from the high ground from the back. Try and find one, but one finds the Immortality Field. Will get the kill over on the Marta, but it again exchanged 1 for 1. But with the Junkrat or the Baptiste take that final blow, and it looks like the Purple Apes will do that as well, and will start to retreat to the second corner.
Yeah, it's just a lot of these first picks is just making it so hard for the Purple Apes, but once they start figuring out how to live, it just becomes so much easier for them to play this game. And Fighter Carter, again, just pumping out this damage, and he's been so far my MVP for this series, and he's going to be able to have this dupe, looking to probably dupe either the Sig or possibly even the Sojourn to really just try to help out this brawl.
How still is he feeling? We'll have to wait and see what this duplicate when it finally comes on out. Falls down to low half HP, but will stay up nice and healthy. They're getting those grenades over from Mardox in the corner. Window here for the opening, but they do get a pretty nice look here over on Sticky grenades and the duplicate over onto the Sigma. However, Fire Carter a bit in no man's land here behind the window. Might get punished here. Has to get the fly out. Looks like they will. As the flank comes in, but is punished by Akua. Spots that one out, taking down DeVito again. Can't build that beat to mid fight here. Big advantage right now. As 8 seconds over onto the coastline, building that charge. Fire Carter falling low. For the Sticky Mines are exchanged. Immortality Field is thrown out here, but 8 makes use of it, repays the favor, and gets that kill over on the Fire Carter. And now, Akua just having this fire, trying to find something. Will find Mardox, takes down that Baptiste, and now Capri Wolverine just use their last couple bits of HP to stand on this cart. Stand in to deliver a W they cannot, but Akua will deliver somebody right back to spawn with them.
I think against this comp, you really want to like lean into more brawl elements to really just kind of run over Dire. It's really hard because Soname wants to take those angles like we saw, but it's really hard for anyone to really support him, as well as like Panini being able to like get caught out. But going into this next fight, you really have this Capri Wolven ult to come brawl here really quickly, and we're seeing this quick brawl, and I should see a Capri Wolven ult come out, beat to match.
Very even exchange here, but War will find the opening pick over on a Mardox. The Baptiste death there from War. Not something you usually see every day, but there you go. The Flux gonna be kind of exchanged here for nothing, but Sonironic over in to this corner, try and find something with, not gonna find anything in the Captain's Sun. Does create some space, but the Bob takes it right back there from Senemi. Dire flying low, but the Immortality Field is just in time. If his comes in with the overclock, with that gone, will take down Fire Carter. His duplicate very quickly, if not careful, but then DeVito's first to pay. with the beat armor expiring. They force to retreat. Firecard trying to build towards that tire, but can't quite get it. Can't quite find the angles. Very close to this tire, but might just expire. Just gets it, but can't pop the tire. And now, really nothing for either side to use. It's a one-on-one brawl in the cart with these tanks right now. Sunrise building instant damage. War comes back here with this window. Opens right up on the cart. Try to take the space on back. Dana DeVito is very in no man's land and gets punished with a rock through the window. Got caught in the corner, couldn't escape. And now Dire splits off the remaining heals from Capri Wolverine. Capri Wolverine trying to stay alive as possible. But immortality field from War again, well placed. Dire does fall though now. Firecard comes in with that focusing beam. And they might have somehow just turned us right back. It's still a 4-on-4 on cart. Immortality field advantage though for Mardox. And
I'm really hoping this window to come out here.
Looking for this window to come up from Mardox. I can keep going, man. Let me go. But here we go. Capri Wolverine. Who has that immortality field, has that form, goes on in. Sonic Ronic Pylon gone. And still the corner, yet to be taken to Capri Wolverine, trying to do something here with this Nemesis form, not going too much, but Akua has built yet another tire here, ready to go, ready to use his trap as destroyed, but has a conquer grenade ready to go, looking for a flank. He's just sitting here waiting for the corner, waiting for the call, jumps on up, but can't do anything, enemy spots that one out, sends the junk right back down in the caves, and now it's a 4-on-5 on the cart. Big advantage right now, Akua finally using this tire, ready to rip it over in this back line, doesn't find anything, no, will not find anything but Mardox's rifle. Mardox with this window as well, with the duplicate here from Firecard, walks forward, the rock lands, takes the Echo out of the fight, and the scrappage continues here. Sonrod though, closest, catch after Sun, a cool spot out on this angle, on this flank, sent back, packing, and now DeVito close to this beat, but can Captain Sun do anything here? Enemy falls, ready for his Captain Sun, not doing too much here, but then returns over Capri Wolverine. This fight is still going, and finally it appears, I mean, I've said it so many times, but Purple Apes have the advantage, and finally finding 3, and finally spotting a cool on his flank and send him back, and that's going to be a wipe for the first time in so long.
Finally, you get to take a break. Holy, that was a long fight. It was so impressive that the side of the Purple Apes were able to stabilize regardless of how many ult disadvantages they're at. And going on to this next fight, I'm really just paying attention to Saname's ult here and how they play with it and brawl past this window. And that's just something that Purple Apes should be really expecting here. They're going to open with this window, bait them in, and just brawl past with this Bob here.
See what goes on here. Dire has to use that shield pretty early. If he's like just missed the shot there, I'm going to send me. It could have been a huge fight turner for him. The pylon is around the corner, is nice and safe. And now Akua begins to work on this flank. However, the Bob comes on out. Both immortality fields destroyed in tandem. Akua finds one on the flank. Was exchanged for Dire in the front lines, and now 15 seconds remaining. Enemy sets the sights over on the Pharah and sends them back. And it appears they're going to go right back on in here with the overclock, and Dana DeVito falls. HPSec finds 2. Hold on. Dire starts over on the Doofus as well. Mardox tries to find the kill, but HPSec with a third. HPSec just said, let's go to point C. I'm not done just yet.
Yeah, that was a really massive fumble from the Purple Apes. You know, they got their picks that they really needed to, and all they needed to do was let them come point, don't get traded, and just finish that out there.
And now you look at Ultimates, basically nothing on any side to use. Captain Sun versus the window. Not the biggest fight turns, but could potentially still a time banks or increases depending on what happens. So Cool Stars over on the Widowmaker. Turns off that far, not finding too much value here. Now looking for a long sideline here of this main corridor. Potentially early pick could set things up for him.
Yeah, and just Firecard is going to be having this this nice duplicate to play for. And I love the angles that the Purple Apes are taking here.
Dire forced to retreat, use all the coolness to get out of the fight, and Sonic Ronk falls to the Sticky Mines had the Captain Sun to use. And now we have the Purple Apes smelling blood in the water, chasing him back to spawn. A cool 1 HP can't land the shot.
What an impressive game from Firecard all around. Just having that flank onto the back line to find that open pick, and just probably telling their team, yo, everyone step in, clean up these kills.
And now with the Malga swap here from Dire as well. Won't give enough time for a cage. Just looking for that mid-fight potential, that mid-touch presence on the cart. Looks for a charge on in. Will slam over on Dana DeVito. Immortality Field and slower are used on Dire. Immortality Field comes on in, but Dire's not long for his world. The window, like I said, I would see a fight turner ultimate when that happens. But now, Captain Sun from Sonic tries to do something cool from the corridor. As I was saying, trying to pull a hero play, but Dana DeVito has the beat, and the Annihilation Chase now is Widowmaker. Not much the sniper can do. And that's going to be a hold there just about halfway towards point C. But for Shambali, that's honestly a pretty good push.
100%, you know. And if we think about it, it should have been over on second point, but just amazing regroup from the Purple Apes here on the third point.
Now,
And it was looking really scrappy at the beginning, just not being able to like contest those lanes. But they just kind of realized they needed to be a little bit more stacky, get resources from your team, and just deny the angles and these like close quarters against Akua's Junkrat.
I mean, Akua just bringing just so much value on this flank. You just kind of need to start marking him because he just goes for the same one every time, and Marduk's doing a pretty damn good job of stealing him off, but he can only do it so many times before it's going to work. And now you look at Dyer is going to go start over onto the Ramatra, opting not to play Sigma on the defense.
Yeah, I mean the Foxes still have like a great comp. You've been seeing like this Alari Baptiste comp more and more. So it's still a great comp, but it just feels like the Foxes are really just kind of doing what the Purple Apes are doing. So it's not the greatest look if you're just kind of adapting with no real sense of what you want to do.
Yeah, and I mean Akua is actually going for the Echo Swap as well, ready to go for it. But it's going to be, I think it's down to this Echo battle right now. This could decide the map and could, at this point, decide the series. Can Akua, mirroring over on a fire card to do some damage, but a really nice Sonic arrow comes up for sending him in the high ground there. It allowed Fire Carter to land a pretty nice sticky and get the advantage so far in the duplicate charge. Ready to chase on down. Akua might get punished here. Akua falling low, but will get healed right on back up. The cart continues to move as Capri Wolverine goes on under. The cart looks to take this high ground advantage right back.
And Soname is just in this backline, and Akua is going to go dive him and get picked off here. But a brawl is happening on the backline.
The brawl's opening here. Just so many cooldowns. There's just so much sensory overload right there in those little stairwell. And all that falls is Immortality Field and the Healing Pylon. And look at the exchange on the Echoes there. Perfectly equal, as all things should be. As we go look forward right now, and now another scrap has come out on the high ground. It's an Echo, or it's a Sojourn, versus both Ramatras and the Baptiste from Mordox. Personifies Danavita early again. Losing out on that Lucio, losing out on this speed potential could be huge as the attacker might get sent back. But the Healing Pylon doing so much from Sonic Rock over on the side. Almost has a Captive Sun in the first fight as War builds up towards that window as well. Both Baptiste very close. War falling low. Hazy Mortality for himself could be the advantage here. The Capri Wolverine decide to push. Goes heavily in the backline here. Forces War to retreat. Senemi finds that charge over on the War. Losing that Baptiste here could spell doom as the cool falling low. But the Healing Pylon is there to help him.
That's still going to be a great trade. Just having Marduk's ult, Fire Card ult, they're still going to be able to win, especially with low resources. And they're going to go quick off of that kill. But Akua is flanking to the point, and it's just how well are, yeah.
And I mean, yeah, just two Ramatras with Nemesis form on point punching you. That's a bit tough to live through after the Foxians there. And you probably could get another touch here. You did get some ultimates out, but they didn't have to do a full cap or anything, so the sweat might be starting to build.
Yeah, 100%. Like what I was talking about there, just like getting that pick on the War is just so crucial. Just being able to like flip that switch, and really just take down the Fox's defensive hold.
Cart continue to move, but Akua first to fall there as Mardox, the medical sniper, takes down that kill. 8 pistol tries to done on the flank, but does get marked and sent on back. War does fall low. Hesitant over top field again very early here. That could be an advantage of the Foxians, or the Purple Ape side to push here, as HP Sec goes for a bit of a hero flank potentially.
Yeah, and I'm really, I love the aggression from Sonic's ultimate, but the Apes are able to stabilize and just brawl on card here.
And the duplicate from here from Akua over on the Lucio trying to do something done. We do have the Annihilations exchanged here, and this is just so many ultimates being exchanged. Akua close to potentially a free beat here, 5% away, but the duplicate will expire in 2 seconds. It might not be able to get off. No, they will not. Now DeVito engage with their own. So a huge swap here, a huge fight turn here for the Purple Apes, but DeVito falls off the high ground, can't speed here. He's stuck on the wall. He can't get back to the squad in time, but the cart will continue to move. As once again, very scrappy and probably another fight will start breaking out here on the cart.
Yeah, and there's Firecard is also closing another ultimate, and that's gonna be the major kind of signifier that they can cap the second point. And will they even get a touch?
I don't think they're going to. No, they're gonna get a last-second touch from Dire Desperation, but just wasn't there. And now Sockrock's gonna stagger as well in the backline here. Firecarter again finding the kills, has duplicated yet again here, and just the winner from War potentially stop this Mongolian-style push, just going crazy, just no holds barred, pure aggression.
Yeah, not to sound like a Debbie Doomer, but they're just picking up this aggression, trying to put in War, and if they get this kill, this is gonna be all hopes lost. But forcing out this window is just huge, and now they just can go kart, fire kart, or ult on point, and just have Marduk's ult to stabilize.
Goes in for that duplicate there, over on to the Doomfist. Not gonna land that punch though. Dire does find that. Well, the Kua open pick on his enemy could be ginormous, especially with Marduk losing Mertaco. The Kua trying to bring it back for his team, finding two in the back. The duplicate 9 doing too much. Firecarter back to the team, but nothing found of that one. As 8 per second of Kua are there pulling in that damage. It is still very scrappy on the fight, but Capri Woven had to use the Nemesis form and probably a slowdown here for the Apes.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a slowdown, but they should be able to just open this fight with window and get Capri Woven ult and beat and just kind of just survive and live. And the side of the Foxes aren't able to really just bunker down on this point.
That's a really good opening pick though if you're Sunrun, taking down Firecarter, and now both. There we go, somehow some actually decisive fight wins, but Akua decides to prove me wrong, goes in and kills himself there in the enemy spawn, but there will be a fight win again, and no ult use for that.
Yeah, and even though there's no ult use, just kind of Akua dying lane and just the respawn advantage, they're just going to get so many fights on this one corner that it feels inevitable for a win here.
The Capstone is going to land on a few targets there, but the beat from Danny View keep him alive and healthy, but Marduk didn't land, didn't get that beat, and now both supports are down for the Purple Apes, and this Dire Doomfist has kind of brought him right back in the series, as Firecarter is swapping, wholesale swaps come right now for Purple Apes.
Yeah, and as long as we have this Sanamail to open up the battlefield and just Capri Woven brawl on point, this should work out. But Akua is coming back on this window. Just keep trying to find out miracle kills here.
Trying to get something done here. Firecarter is forced to use the recall here pretty early. But now sending me a setup right down main and is going to land that blow over onto War. And despite how it was looking, you know, a solid 3-minute hold here on C, it just wasn't meant to be. The stick, the land is not looking too good here for Dire. Not long for this world as Overclock cleans them on up. And that's clean up this series in a clean 3-0 sweep for the Purple Apes over the Foxians. And what some might call an upset here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think a little bit of upset, but like with how this league is working this season, I really feel like any and every team has a chance against every team. You know, it's gonna be really playstyle centric, right? And today the Purple Apes had just a massive kind of stylistic advantage.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it. That for both of us, I think there's really only one person you can shout out for MVP here. It's probably got to be Firecarter. So
100%.
we can go ahead and move on in for a quick interview and get his thoughts on the win. And there he is. Congratulations on the win, Mr. Carter. Big 3-0 victory and what some might consider an upset, you know, so far early in the season. Just your initial thoughts on a fairly dominant win this series.
You say some might consider it an upset, and I'm not gonna ego you. I kind of thought it was an upset as well. I had a pretty disastrous performance last week as a DPS, and I thought I'd have a repeat of this week with Akua. Just kicking me all over the place. But I was pleasantly surprised to see that on all sides of the board. I think our team was just doing better. I think it was a pretty clean 3-0. I think we did pretty well every map, and I'm happy to see it, and I'm much more excited about our future now.
Yeah, Neptune, what you got?
Yeah, your play just looked amazing, especially on that Echo, just kind of being able to get ultimates after ultimate and just really turning those fights with them.
Yeah, my secret is shoot tank all the time.
Was there any like game plan strategy going into this match? You kind of mentioned about like Akua. Did you kind of like have any sort of idea like how you're gonna take this fight against them? I guess.
Well, we had a ton of ideas. Panini does a lot of a lot of recon on our opponents before every match. Keeps us up because a lot of us are new, right? This is my second season, but I'm still kind of new. But Panini had a good idea of what we were going for. We had our plan was basically win the fight quick enough that they can't turn it.
Well, can I say you failed on making the fights quick? Can I please say you guys failed in that regard? Some of those fights went on for felt like 4 or 5 minutes.
That last map was really I mean, it was good that they lasted that long. I think on defense on that map because I think they did really well in attack, but the problem was they just took forever to win the fight.
Mhm.
I think we did a good job of marking Akua and marking their DPS and just keeping them all funneled down the main line, and so they couldn't really do anything.
All right, with that being said, before I send you back to celebrate with your squad, we of course got to ask El Clasico, if you could not be MVP of this match, who would you give it to on your team and why?
I think it'd be Capri Wolven. I think she played very well. You know, I don't know if anyone's keeping an eye on the scoreboard. Of course, you guys weren't because you can't see that. She was never dying, and she was executing the pushes, I think, really well timed. And she really stepped up in the comms department today as well.
Yeah.
So I think Cap would be my choice.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's kind of something Booney and I were talking about during breaks. Just kind of you two specifically were just kind of those MVP, but in our hearts, in our minds, you know, you kind of edged it out over today.
Well, thank you.
With that being said, I can send you on back to your team for a celebration again. Congrats on the 3-0 and a 2-0 start to your season, and we hope to talk to you again soon.
Yep. Thank you very much. Yep.
All right, with that being said, that's going to be a pretty easy win there for the side of the Purple Apes, actually. You know, at the end of the day, I was kind of expecting a bit of a closer map, potentially a 3-1, 3-2 scenario, but Apes looking a lot stronger, I think, than Alpha had going into week 2.
Yeah, today it's just been a 3-1, then 3-2, and then 3-0 map score today. So very close / kind of just a diverse matches today.
I think that kind of just shows how close I think this league is actually this year. There's not really a dominant team. You know, Foxians very high up on the power rank at the beginning of the season. Sea Dragons and both them 1-1. Purple Apes come out of nowhere with 2 scrappy wins here, 2-0. But everything still close, still up in the air. Folks, you're not going to want to miss a single match this season, so make sure you follow the channel. If you haven't, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to join our Discord. There are links behind the Twitch chat. So we thank you all so much for that. Thank you so much for watching. For Neptune, I've been Booney, and stay safe, stay healthy. Have a great rest of your year, everybody.